Hello and welcome to the B&Z World Report. I am your host, Angela Ray, where we will be reporting global topics and events from around the world. Our first topic is finance, and it comes from Bloomberg.com. Now, if you've been under a rock, maybe soup for the last 6 to 8 months, you might not know that we are in a recession, not only in the United States, but in countries around the world. And according to Bloomberg.com, the UK may lose its AAA credit rating. Someone say, ouch, the UK actually losing that AAA credit rating. And of course, treasuries and the dollar have continued to decline. I probably don't have to tell you all out there that you have been in the malls, perhaps going different places and noticing that the dollar is not going as far as it used to. Now, further credit concern as Bloomberg.com continues to report that Treasury 10-year notes rose in the last 2 weeks, sending yields up 18 base points or 3.37%. However, the dollar declined to the lowest level against the euro since January. So, in the world of finance, unfortunately, we do not have good news. In the area of politics, this story comes from the New York Times. Our Vice President, Mr. Joseph Biden Jr., took a visit over to Serbia. And actually, this was just 15 months after nationalist protests set the United States Embassy afire in Serbia. But our vice president was welcomed to the Palace of Serbia with guards in smart blue uniforms, and they were singing the Star-Spangled Banner. Now, if you all want me to sing that, that's going to be a little bit extra, Chris. I can't sing that without, extra payment. But they were singing for our vice president, and both the vice president and the president of Serbia came out in a united front, but not everyone welcomed the vice president. They did not all think that his visit to Serbia was a neutral one. In fact, our vice president in the 1990s was a supporter for Bosnia, or Muslims in Bosnia and Kosovo. And so ultra-nationalists in the parliament held up signs calling Mr. Biden a Nazi. And that, again, politics report is from the NewYorkTimes.com. In our health report, this comes from usnews.com, a molecule in skin may link eczema to asthma. So parents, if you have young children, you might want to pay attention to this. A substance secreted in eczema, damaged skin, might trigger asthma in small children, U.S. researchers say. An estimated 50 to 70% of children with severe eczema, also known as atopic dermatitis, don't say that 3 times fast, develop asthma compared to about 9% in the general population. In the United States, about 17% of children have eczema, although not all of those cases are severe. The progression from eczema to asthma is called atopic march. So if you have a child with eczema and you have some concerns about them possibly developing asthma, you can get more information about this topic from the American Academy of Dermatology. And again, this story is from usnews.com. Now, in our education report, we have a story that comes from usatoday.com. Children with disabilities are often secluded from other children in the classroom, many times to somewhat safeguard their behavior. But many times this seclusion is leaving them hurt, and in rare cases it has resulted in death. And according to usatoday.com, the report details 10 children's cases, 4 of which ended in death. And unlike hospitals or residential treatment centers, there's no federal system to regulate such practices in schools, and teachers are often inadequately trained. And this is according to the Government Accountability Office from our U.S. Congress. Now, our final story of the week comes from the ChicagoTribune.com, and this is for all of you who are still trying to get in shape for the summer season. Since the official start of summer is just around the way, you might get some help from fast food restaurants. And according to this story, calorie counts could crowd fast food menus. Yes, When you go to Mickey D's right beside that Big Mac, you might already know how many calories you're going to ingest. And the battle over calorie disclosures on chain restaurant menus is heating up as public health officials and advocates and the restaurant industry are prepared to duke it out in Congress. Now, the Menu Education and Labeling Act, also known as MEAL, how appropriate, was introduced in Congress just last week, and it would require restaurant chains with 20 or more stores to display the calorie counts on their menu boards. So again, you might have some extra help for all of you trying to get it lean for the summer season. Now, one of the things that restaurants have been arguing is that they provide this information. Some say they provide it on their website, or there's some labeling here and there. I know in some restaurants I've been into, you can actually pick up a pamphlet. However, how many of you actually read that information? Well, Yale University did a study where they followed 4,311 restaurant patrons and 4 major chains, including McDonald's, Burger King, Starbucks, and one other one. And guess what they found out? 6 customers read the nutrition labels. 6 out of 4,311. Not a good thing, not a good thing. And again, you can actually find this story on today's BNZ News. That is it for the BNZ World Report. I am your host, Angela Ray, and for more news that you can use 24 hours a day, please visit the website that is brandnews.com. Make it a great day.